Hey guys, what's up? It's Keith, and I just wanted to go through some of the things that are happening over the next month, 2 months. First of all, the seminar, which is primarily what I'm making this video about. So I'm giving this seminar. It's called Photoshop Basics for Tattoo Artists. It's not the same Photoshop Basics seminar that I previously did. We're going to expand on it a bit. And it's not just going to be about Photoshop, even though it's primarily about Photoshop, and I'll explain that in a sec. Um, First opportunity will be United Ink at the Nassau Coliseum, and that's going to be on Sunday at 11 a.m. It'll be about 2 or 3 hours, and there's a handful of seats left. You can get them through NewYorkTattooShow.com, or you can just email me at CustomCultureInc.com. Um, Go to Custom Culture Inc. and hit the contact and hit us up there. You can call the shop here, and I can give you the information that way as well. 516-442-1440. So that is in the end of July. The following weekend, I will be um, in Park City, Utah, giving the exact same seminar in Utah. So that's the 3rd through the 5th. It'll also, I believe, be on the Sunday at 11. So what else am I doing other than Photoshop? Well, I'm doing Q&A when I'm in the booth for the remainder of the Sunday, and portfolio review. So you'll be able to bring your portfolio over for free while I'm in the booth for the remainder of the Sundays, and I'll give you an honest, constructive criticism. If you don't want honest, constructive criticism, please don't come over to the booth, because that's what I'll be there doing. And if you do, hopefully I'll be able to tell you some things that'll help you out as an artist. And yeah, so that's the deal. Free Q&A and portfolio reviews on Sunday after the seminar, both in Park City and in Nassau Coliseum in Uniondale, New York. So let me get that off the screen. The contact information is the same. You could always get me here at Custom Culture Inc. The studio number 516-623-5665. My line 516-442-1440. All right, let me get that off the screen. So the Photoshop thing won't be just Photoshop. I'm going to talk about some of my favorite programs to do digital work in. One of them will be Manga Studio. Manga Studio I really like because of its inking. It has an excellent pen tool, so if you are the type that likes to draw and put a black line around things, it's probably got the most responsive ink tool. Let me see if I can bring that up. There we go. So we're going to use that pen, and I'll go over the settings and stuff with you. But if you have a pressure sensitive tablet, which most of you do, like a Wacom, you're going to see that it really gives you a very pretty real line. It's almost identical to what you'd be getting if you were working on paper with ink. Anyway, blah blah blah. I'm stammering. So anyway, we're going to talk about using Manga Studio for hardline stuff. I definitely prefer it for that, and it's got some other cute, cool stuff like shading patterns and halftones and stuff that you could use. So anyway, that is Manga Studio. And again, we're going to touch on these briefly, with Photoshop being the primary. We're going to talk a little about ZBrush, which is everybody's pretty hot on ZBrush. We're going to just go through the simple use of ZBrush to sculpt a very simple item. So it's not gonna be a ZBrush tutorial. Again, it's primarily Photoshop. I don't want to expose you guys to these other tools. And get this out of the way. That's the screen recording software. Another piece of software I use quite a bit is Sketchbook. Sketchbook Pro, to be exact. I like Sketchbook for just that, for sketching. For the same reason Manga Studio to me has the most realistic pen. Sketchbook has the most realistic pencils, to me. Like to start off sketching, I mean, you could really like bear down and build, or you could go real light and shade. You can cross hatch. You could even, smudge, obviously, and blur. If you were to take the blur tool, you could smudge the pencil if that's what you wanted to do. But anyway, that's Sketchbook, a very simple, cool program we're going to look at briefly. And these, Sketchbook, for example, is a simpler alternative to Photoshop. Sorry, we got a bunch of alerts going off in the background. Photoshop, we're going to talk about Photoshop. This is CS6, but the stuff I'm going to teach you guys is not going to be unique to CS6. If you have 3 or higher, will be just fine. So that's Photoshop. And this is my screen recording software. In case you guys are curious, it's called iShowU HD. And then we're also going to talk about, I skipped it, Adobe Illustrator. We're going to talk about the difference between vector and bitmap art, and I'm going to show you the difference. We're actually going to do a little piece of vector. I'm going to show you guys how I like to do vector art. I don't like to use too many cheats, as they say. I really do like to use primarily the pen tool and draw shapes and so on and so forth. But I'll show you some iPhone. I'll show you some stuff for sure. So anyway, that was a train wreck of a rundown of what I'm going to be doing. Quit out of this. But I just wanted to let you guys know that it's going to be more than just Photoshop. And that seminar is 100. I'm only taking 10 people. I'm making the seminar seating smaller and smaller just so I have more one-on-one time with everybody. And the portfolio review is, as time allows. So it's going to be first come, first serve. You come up to the booth. I'll look at your portfolio. We'll go through it together. And that's that. So hopefully I'll see you guys real soon. Come out to one of those conventions and join me and contact us about getting a seat for one of the seminars. And that's it. Come get tattooed. Jared Stomber, Mike Caro, and myself will be at the Park City Convention, and Mike Caro and myself will be at the United Ink Convention. And that's pretty much it. Oh, we will be at Inked Out in New Jersey as well, so look for us there. If you want appointments, I do have 1 or 2 open appointments at each convention. Again, call the numbers that I mentioned earlier. Alright, so there you go. It's easier than typing everything out. And good talking to you guys, and make some cool stuff.